Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to the second PU English class. So in today's class, I'm going to teach you Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. So William Shakespeare was a versatile genius character who lived from 1564 to 1660. He is an English poet and also a playwright, and he is considered as the greatest writer in English language. So William Shakespeare is considered as the greatest writer in English language and also the world's preeminent dramatist. So here preeminent means very important dramatist or who is better than any other person. Okay. Next, he is called as England's national poet. So William Shakespeare is called as the England's national poet. And his works has been translated into many different languages. So here many different languages means many popular languages of the world. And he writes his plays based on different genre. First one is in tragedy, in comedy, and also in romantic. So some of his popular plays are like Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, Othello, King Lear, Hamlet, and others. So all these plays are his tragic plays, and some of his comic plays are like Midsummer Night's Dream and others. Okay, so though William Shakespeare lived from 1564 to 1616, from almost 400 years, still we are learning William Shakespeare's works, which means he always stands #1 position in English literature. Okay, so this is all about the author. Next, I am going to tell you some background of Romeo and Juliet. So here, Romeo and Juliet is a tragic love story of two youngsters or two teenagers called Romeo and Juliet. Okay, who belongs to the powerful noble families of Verona. So here powerful noble families means very prestigious family or aristocratic family, very rich family of Verona. Verona is a city in Italy, Rome. Okay. So here Romeo and Juliet belongs to the powerful noble family of Verona. Here Romeo belongs to the family called Montagues and Juliet belongs to the family called Capulets. So both these families are sworn enemies for a long time. These two families are rival families. These two families, they don't like each other because they are very strong enemies for a long time. Understood? So here there is one more character called Paris. So here Paris is a relative or cousin of the prince. Okay, so here Paris wishes to marry Juliet. Okay, Paris wishes to marry Juliet, and Paris discusses this marriage proposal with Juliet's father. Even Juliet's father, Lord Capulet, is also very happy with this marriage proposal. But Juliet's father asked Paris to marry her daughter after 2 years because Juliet is still very young girl. She is still 14 years teenage girl. For this reason, Juliet's father asked Paris to marry her daughter after 2 years. Okay. So here one more character called Rosaline. So here Rosaline is the cousin of Juliet. Okay. Rosaline is the cousin of Juliet. Here Romeo will be in very deeply in love with Rosaline. Okay, but this love story is just a one-way love story. Rosaline doesn't have any such feelings towards Romeo. For this reason, even Romeo will be very disappointed. He will be in melancholy mood because Romeo is in love with Rosaline, but here Rosaline, she don't have any such feelings towards Romeo. Understood? So one day what happened? Lord Capulets means Juliet's father. He arranged a grand party in Capulet's family. Okay, so here Juliet's father, Lord Capulets, arranged a grand party in Capulet's family. So many noble men from different places are invited to attend the party. Okay, but this Capulet's family, they have not invited Montague's family because, as I told you before, these two families are sworn enemies for a long time. Okay, they are rival families. These two families, they don't like each other. They are very strong enemies. Understood? For this reason, the Capulets family will not invite Montague's family, but they have invited many other noblemen from different places. But somehow Romeo come to know that Capulet's family have arranged a grand party. Somehow Romeo will come to know about it. So Romeo's intention was only to meet Rosaline. Okay, Romeo's intention was only to meet Rosaline. For this reason, he decided to attend the party. But nobody has invited him. But for that reason only, what he will do, he will wear some mask in order to hide himself. Because nobody wants to identify him. Nobody wants to recognize him because he belongs to the enemy family. If someone recognize him or identify him, definitely he cannot go back to his home so easily. Understood? For this reason, Romeo attend the party by wearing some mask in order to hide himself. Okay? So when the party has begun, so when the Romeo enters to the party hall, there he will see many noblemen from different places have come to attend the party. And also in the middle, in the center of that party hall, many great gentlemen and ladies were dancing. So he will be very busy in searching Rosaline there. At that moment, suddenly his eyes strike to young gorgeous beauty, that is Rosaline. Okay, so here Romeo's intention was only to meet Romeo's intention was only to meet Rosaline. He did not have any other intention. Okay, but when he enters to the party hall, there he will be very busy in search of Rosaline there. But suddenly his eyes strike to young gorgeous beauty, that is Juliet. Understood? So this is the first time he is looking Juliet. Okay, we will tell love at first sight. Yes, that's what happened to Romeo also. Romeo will become deeply, madly and truly in love with Juliet. Okay, then he will stand in one corner and he will keep on observing her, he will keep on watching her, how beautiful she is. Okay, so he will appreciate her beauty, he will praise for her beauty. Okay, he will describe her beauty, by how beautiful face she is, how beautiful face she has, how beautiful eyes she has, how beautiful curly hair she has, and very good grandeurs as well, and how nicely she is dancing. He will be keep on watching her. So in that party hall only, somehow he managed to meet Rosaline there. Sorry, not Rosaline, Juliet. Okay, you somehow managed to meet Juliet there. So even Juliet is also seeing Romeo for the first time. As soon as she sees Romeo for the first time, even she will come to know the Romeo's love towards her. By looking at the glittering eyes of Romeo, even Juliet comes to know the very true love towards Juliet. And gradually even Juliet will also start to love him. But these two youngsters, these two teenagers, they doesn't know they belongs to the enemy family. Later they will come to know that Romeo also come to know she belongs to the Capulet's family, and she comes to know that Romeo belongs to the Montague's family. They both will become very disappointed and they both even try to forget each other. Okay, but whenever they think to forget each other, still their love grow more and more stronger, and then finally they become a very great lovers. Okay, after this even they will secretly they get married. Okay, they will secretly get married. So after their secret marriage, they will start to meet secretly. So somehow their love story will be running very smoothly. There will be not there any problem, but suddenly that disastrous happen. So as I told you before, here Paris. Paris is the cousin or relative of the king, prince. So here Paris wishes to marry Juliet, isn't it? So one day Juliet's father, means Lord Capulet, decided to hand over Juliet to Paris. For this reason, he arranged a grand wedding ceremony of Juliet. Juliet will be very depressed. She don't know what to do. She has completely lost her mind. She don't know how to convince their parents, because definitely their parents are not going to agree for this marriage. Because as I told you before, these two families belongs to the enemy family. Only for this reason, they are not going to agree for this proposal. So even Juliet will be keep on waiting that definitely Romeo is going to come and help her, but nobody is going to come. Even she is planning that they both can elope from this place and they can lead a very happy life in the future, but nobody is going to help her. Then the previous day of her wedding, she decided even she can't live without Romeo. For this reason, she decided to end up her life by taking some poison. And on the next day of Juliet's death, Romeo will also come to know that Juliet is no more. She is dead. Even Romeo will be in very melancholy mood. He will be completely disappointed. He'll be crying very badly for the death of Juliet. And he also decided he cannot live without Juliet, and he decided to kill himself, and he enters to the tomb of Juliet and he killed himself by the side of the Juliet's grave. So this is the tragic love story of Romeo and Juliet. So here this love story is considered as the adolescent's love story. This adolescent's love story will never going to take it very seriously by their parents. And this is the warning, or this is some kind of awareness for young teenagers. Before taking some decisions in our life, definitely we have to think it many times. We know what exactly we are doing is wrong, but still our mind forces us to do the wrong thing, or tempts us to do the wrong thing. But what will be the end? Definitely the end is going to be tragic end. But after committing some mistakes, if we keep on regretting for this, but there will be not there any use, because we cannot change our past. For some temporary pleasure or temporary happiness, we don't want to spoil our precious life. So this is very important. Okay, so this is all about Romeo and Juliet. So in your textbook, they have prescribed some Act 1 and Scene 5 of Romeo's verses, and also Act 3 and Scene 2 of Juliet's verses. So here William Shakespeare has described Juliet's beauty. Extraordinarily he has described it, exquisitely he has described Juliet's beauty. So Romeo, through his imagination, as I told you before, when he sees her for the first time, he'll be completely start to love her so much. So here he will be telling that, oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiopia's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear, so shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder ladies over her fellows show. The measure's done, I will watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night. So this is all the Romeo's verses for Juliet. So as soon as he sees Juliet for the first time, he will start to describe her beauty. He wants to appreciate her beauty, he wants to praise us for her beauty. So what he is telling, she definitely teach the torches to burn bright. So here we will use the torches in order to get some light, isn't it? In order to get some bright light. But what he is telling, these torches will learn to burn bright by looking at the Juliet's beauty. Okay, so Juliet will definitely teach the torches to burn bright. Understood? So in the next line, here cheek of, it says she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiopia's ear. So Ethiopia's or Ethiopian, called an African, so which has very dark complexion. So here, see, Juliet is compared to rich jewel. So with very dark complexion, if they are wearing very rich golden jewel, it looks very bright, isn't it? So she is compared to rich jewel. For some dark background, if we are playing very some different colors, means definitely it's going to give some very brightness. So here he is comparing Juliet to rich jewel. So beauty too rich for use. So he is telling Juliet's beauty is very rich, is very expensive. She is like a precious stone. That's what he is telling. Nobody can compare her beauty to someone else. Or after this party, he cannot go and describe her beauty with someone else because it's very precious, it's very expensive or rich to use. Okay. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows. So here snowy dove, everyone knows dove is a very beautiful white bird. So it's a symbol of love. Dove is considered as a symbol of love. So here snow means even snow is also in white color. So snowy dove, he is comparing Juliet to snowy dove trooping with crows. Trooping with crows means here, so you just imagine in that dance hall, there are many ladies have started to dance with Juliet. But you just imagine if there are many crows and in the middle, if there is Juliet who is she is only looking very beautifully. Like a snowy dove she is looking, but others are looking like a crows. That is what he is telling. The measures done. Here I will watch her place of stand. So he is standing in the corner and he is measuring her beauty. He starts describing by looking at her face, her eyes, her dance, everything he is describing. So he is telling, yes, the measurer has done. And he is telling, if he gets a chance to touch her, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. If he gets a chance to dance with her, so that at least if he gets a chance to touch her, it will make my rude hand like a blessed my rude hand. It's going to be a blessings. Okay. Then he is telling, did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this end. So here he is asking question like, did my heart love till now? So as I told you before, he was in love with Rosaline, but he is thinking that the love he has towards Rosaline is just like some kind of crush or infatuation. But he is telling the love he had towards Rosaline is a very true love, it's a pure love. So he is telling, for I swear it inside, for I never saw true beauty till this night. So these are all the verses of Romeo. So here they have given many similes also. So simile means comparing one thing to other. So here Juliet has compared like torches to burn bright, or cheek of night to rich jewel, and snowy down to trooping with crows. So these are all the similes which they have given here. So while we are writing exam, so if you are highlighting all these lines, definitely you can score very good marks in exam as well. Okay. So next I am going to read Juliet's verses to Romeo. So here now Juliet, as I told you, okay, first time they will meet each other and they will start to love, and after the secret marriage, I told you know they will start to meet secretly. So she will be telling at that time, come night, come Romeo, come the day in night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night, give me my Romeo, and when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. So these are all the verses of Juliet to Romeo. So here she is waiting Romeo at the night time. So she is telling, come Romeo, come night, though the day in light, even though it is a night time, for her, she is in her imagination, it's like a daytime. What does it mean? When Romeo comes to meet her, it's like a very brightness, it's a daytime. Okay? For thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. So in her imagination, she is thinking, even though it's a night time, when Romeo comes, it will be like complete brightness, like a daytime it will be. And how he is going to come? He will come in a raven's back. The raven means it's some kind of crow. Crow means some bigger size of crow. So crow, as we all know, it's a color of dark. But in her imagination, it is raven's back is like whiter than new snow. Snow is only white color, but this raven back is like whiter than the new snow. So in her imagination, Romeo will come at like a daytime, like in the whiter than the new snow of raven's back. On the raven's back, he will come. Then what she is telling? Come, gentle night, come, loving, black, broad eye. So he is telling he is such a handsome guy, he is such a gentle man, very fairer and black, broad eyebrows, everything. And like this only she will tell, give me my Romeo, and when I shall die. I don't know what happened to her suddenly, why she is thinking about death here. Maybe, as I told you, her marriage has fixed with Paris. So maybe at that time she will be waiting for him, that Romeo will come to help her. That way she is thinking, I guess. So here what she is telling is like, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine. So if she dies, she is thinking, take Romeo and cut him to the little stars. Stars means everyone, even I personally like to look at the sky during night time. It will be very cool weather with the bright moonlight, and also the stars will be twinkling, stars will be spread all over the sky. Really we feel very happy to watch that, isn't it? So what she is telling is like, take him and cut him into little stars, so that the Romeo will be spread all over the world, he will be spread all over the sky. So their love story will be very popular, that everyone will be know their true love story of Romeo and Juliet. And he will make the face of heaven so fine. So if we cut into many different stars, definitely the heaven will look very beautifully, the heaven is going to look, that all the world will be in love with night. Then definitely the whole world is going to be in love with night, and pay no worship to the garish sun. Here sun means like definitely we are going to worship sun god, right? Here garish sun means very hot, very sunlight. Nobody likes to go and walk or go and work in heavy sunlight, right? So if the Romeo is cut into little stars, definitely the nighttime heaven is going to look very beautifully. Then whole people will start to love the night, not the daytime. So when there is heavy garish sun, nobody is going to worship the sun. So this is all about the Juliet's verses towards Romeo. So here also they have personified night here, and also they have personified little stars to heaven so fine. So what is personification? It's a figure of speech which compares non-living object or things to human beings, which gives light. Okay, so this is all about the poem Romeo and Juliet. by William Shakespeare. So I think you all understood today's class.